Hi, welcome to Thursday. The very first thing I want you to see is this sweater.
It's a great sweater.
It's so cute.
That is a very, very good sweater. But Mallory, where did you get such an amazing sweater?
Lunar Pearl made it.
I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah,
It's
me too.
very good.
Yeah, Lunar Pearl's been working on this for like
Yeah.
some time and has told Mal, you know.
Oh,
like,
there's been update photos.
there's been updates and stuff, and Mal has like very excitedly been waiting for it, and then it arrived in the mail, and Mal's
There's
like,
also gloves, but they're at Alex and Haley's.
oh, okay.
And they're purple.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. It looks very, very nice.
It's very nice.
I
very nice.
unprovoked, like once I saw Mel, I was like, I love that sweater, and she was like, we made.
It's a great sweater. So Lunar Pearl, thank you. That was very, very kind. And it looks very good on you too.
I can't imagine how much work it was.
Right? Like you have to like
I made a
make.
scarf once knitting, and like that's all I could do.
I'm always blown away by people that can do. I mean, like honestly, any like physical thing that's not on a computer. Because I'm just so like, oh, it's a computer. But like to do that's so hard. It's so much you have to do. There's so many.
Yeah.
Anyway, people know what I'm saying. Mostly. So yeah, thank you again. That's amazing, and it looks really great. It's got special wash instructions, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and there was like a little of the yarn in case like there's a hole.
Oh yeah. That's very cool. So tonight we're watching a movie because, well, I guess the real reason we're watching a movie is Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon.
So this is all Brandon's fault.
Well, kind of, and like
Don't say that until we know the outcome of the film.
so. Yeah, so
No, I can still blame you.
Brandon sent me a message. Yes,
I was like, let's watch one of those films.
yeah, because I got a lot of movies on my list that like nobody wants to watch.
But I actually quite enjoy these films.
Yeah.
The films that no one wants to watch.
in this film, I like it was one of the films that I was like, I want to see this film, but like rarely do I ever feel like I want to
Watch this
like,
sort
like
of
watch.
movie.
Well, not. I don't even really honestly know what this kind of movie is, except for when you told me.
Okay.
But like I knew about it, and I was like, that sounds really interesting. Or,
So when we did our group watch of Requiem like a few months ago, my takeaway on that movie is like, yeah, that's a hard watch, but it's like it's a well done movie and it sticks with you. And Brandon agreed with that, and I was like, cool. I've got so many other movies like this we could watch, and some of them I've seen, some of them I haven't. And one of the movies that was on there is another Aronofsky film, and it's Mother. So
Have you
tonight
seen
we're
it?
watching Mother. I haven't seen Mother.
oh, okay. I thought okay.
No, this is going to be my first watch of this also.
Okay.
There's quite a few other films on the list that I'd like to see, like that I haven't seen. And there's some other movies that I have seen that I would like to rewatch with folks that are interested.
Yeah,
But I know Mal does not want to rewatch them.
No.
Yeah, which is
And that's
surprising
fine.
because like you don't typically rewatch things. So like
Yes.
if you want to rewatch it, then
Yeah,
it
it's
must at least have some effect on you. And you like
yeah,
it a lot.
for mostly it's like something that if I first saw a movie and I was like, wow, that really like struck me, and then
You can see it a second time and like
in like 10 years.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
got to be like
just
10 years, but then I will
And,
watch
like-
a movie again.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah.
and then that way you have like the vague plot ish, but like you get to see it with
Yes.
different eyes instead of new
So,
eyes.
so one example of this is that there's another movie I've talked about on the vlog before called Dogtooth. I've only ever seen Dogtooth once, but it really stuck with me. I really enjoyed it, and it is the same kind of. It's a black comedy. It's very disturbing, and it's a movie that I'd like to rewatch. Partially because it's been a few years, and then partially because the director put out a new film this year last year now, called Poor Things. And I'm interested in watching Poor Things, but I'm interested in watching Dogtooth to be like, okay, this is like an earlier work.
Yeah.
So you haven't seen Dogtooth, right?
No.
So we should watch Dogtooth is like it. I'm always worried when I talk about it because I'm tempted to be like, it's a funny film, but it's extremely messed up. But it does have elements of comedy because it's designed to be at least somewhat humorous. It's just very twisted in its comedic nature.
Yeah, and one movie that I would also like to watch is what's the one that we watched in college? Is it The Mist? It's not The Mist.
The Mist?
Is it called The Mist?
The Mist is a Stephen King film that primarily takes place in a grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
Brandon, you haven't seen that, right?
Correct.
It's a good movie.
If it's a movie, I probably haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah, that's another good one. That's another one that I guarantee you Mal does not want to see again. Yep. I would watch that. That's a good time.
I mean, I feel like I enjoyed like a large percent of the movie.
I have a funny feeling about the percent you didn't. I can't talk anymore about it, but yeah, it's a good film.
Yeah.
It's a really good film. It's actually one of my favorite films that takes place in like one location, because almost the entire movie's in one spot.
Oh, like a bottle movie.
Yeah. And I just think that's really neat.
Is that a term?
So like it's typically associated with TV shows, like bottle episodes. Is that there's always like they spend a lot of budget on like a number of the episodes, but then like the budget starts to thin out, and so they do things like maybe have it in one location, or maybe it's just one or two characters.
Like the Chinese restaurant episode of Seinfeld, which I think was season 1, where like they had done the rest of the season, but there was like the budget was out, so they did the entire episode in one location.
Where it's like easy to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. None of us have seen this movie, so let's watch Mother. Oof. Okay, so we just watched the movie Mother, the 2017 Mother ! It's
3 hours long.
It's 2 hours long. So my very first thought upon seeing this movie is like, man, that was a wild film.
I would like to see the timeline and like figure out what points are where, because it felt like the movie kept going, and I was like, I don't know.
So
I feel like if I were sitting like watching this by myself, I would have stopped watching it like an hour, like halfway through.
It's so 30 minutes into the film, I looked at my watch because there was a lot happening.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes into the movie, I was like, there's too much happening. I was like, this is too much. There is too many things happening that I'm like, where are we in the film? Yeah. And I looked at my watch and it had been 30 minutes. And I was like, where is the rest of the 90 minutes?
That's how I felt at about an hour. I was like, oh my God, there's another hour?
Yes. That was the other time I looked down. I was like, it's been an hour. I feel like we're at the climax of the film. And then we weren't.
I was happy.
Okay, so
like from 50 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes, I had a smile on my face, and it did not go away.
Was that like all the crazy?
Which part? Was
Well,
all the
I
crazy?
mean, like the what is it when it feels real? But
Surreal.
It was so surreal that it delighted me.
Yeah, I understand that feeling.
So stylistically, I really enjoyed it. Like the way that it's all shot from her perspective, the way that it like a lot of it is like over the shoulder, kind of like tracking around her. You don't really. I don't think there's any scenes without her in it because it's from her point of view.
The whole movie is about her.
Yeah. And so like, I mean, it's the title of the movie, but like. And so, as stuff was happening, I felt as if I was going crazy.
Yeah. As
like more and more surreal stuff was happening, and I didn't like that part.
Oh, okay.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, but also that everybody is different. Oh, you know what my first thought upon finishing this film was I was like,
the only thing that you said during the whole thing. I'm
Yes.
sorry that I said a number of things,
You are. It's fine.
but you were like, boy, this is the most. Did you say upsetting or no? Or,
In the first 30 minutes, when I looked down at my watch and I saw it had been 30 minutes, I said, this is maybe the most uncomfortable movie I've ever watched.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. The first hour of this film might be the most uncomfortable bit of film I've ever seen.
The film is cut into 3 because it fades to white between each, where she closes her eyes and it fades to white. So it's cut into
three chapters.
Yeah, there's 3 major chapters. And I thought that was really interesting because when it happened the second time, I was like, oh, they're bringing that motif back.
Yeah. It's okay. Here's my question, though.
Yeah.
Is it a horror movie?
No.
no.
Unanimous. Not a horror movie. It is
It's unsettling.
it is unsettling.
Disturbing.
It's weird. Like I said, the first hour is the most uncomfortable I've ever been watching a movie, but it's not a horror movie. It's it is, but psychologically. Like the first hour of this film was a nightmare. It was living a nightmare.
When you say you were uncomfortable, is it like an empathy thing?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
putting yourself in their shoes?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like the worst feeling in the entire world. It was
The
awful.
bricks, man.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Just walk out. You can leave.
I'd be like, Dan, I'm going to sleep on your couch.
That was just ooh. But also, like, it really does feel like 2 different movies. It really does, because
That's how Noah felt.
yeah, and like
Do you think like it divides at the hour? Like
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's about what I thought too. Because like they could have wrapped it into an ending like 20 minutes after the first hour mark, and they didn't.
yeah,
They decided to tell a more interesting story.
yeah. It is very strange because like so I've read like a few like reviews of this movie, and it's like a very polarizing split. There are people that really like this and people that really don't.
When you say reviews, like critic reviews?
Yeah, critic reviews. And it's just very interesting because I get it. It's a very good movie and also a very interesting movie. And it does feel like 2 films. And I don't know on some level how well those 2 films go together, because I really liked the first film. The second film is very fun, but it's very weird after watching the first half of the movie. Because the first half of the movie could have been like its own thing.
Yeah.
That being said, that was a great time.
I guess the second half of the movie was just the first half, but more extreme.
Yeah.
it was.
Like it was telling the same story.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
just the first hour is rooted in reality.
Yes, and the second hour is rooted in like post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, it's
Very good.
nothing can really prepare you. It's like, because I didn't really know a whole lot about the film.
I would love to see the marketing for this because like I remember like vaguely like I don't know if I've ever seen a trailer for this movie,
Yeah.
but like just because I know Jennifer Lawrence is great and like it's an Aronofsky film, so but like yeah, I'm just really interested to see how like they present it to be like, hey, come watch this movie.
I saw the trailer when this was coming out.
Yeah.
And like, as you might imagine, none of the second half of the movie is
sure.
in the trailer because there's no way they could.
Yeah.
But geez. All I knew was like, some people arrive at the house and we weren't expecting them. Like, that's my take of the movie.
I would love to create like a 90s, like a wacky 90s trailer,
For
like
this film,
when a married couple.
Yeah, doing the thing where you turn a horror movie into a comedy by the trailer.
This whole
unexpected people come to the home is both halves of the film.
It's true.
Aronofsky said the exclamation point in the title is a reference to the last half.
Yep.
The first film is Mother. The second film is exclamation point.
There's a point towards the end where like I almost left.
You like got
but I was
up
like,
and, like,
I have to see
unsettled.
what the rest of the movie is.
Yeah, we were
But,
nearly
like,
to the end, and
yeah,
I noticed
was-
you become visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in my heart or in my brain, I know that it's like a thing. It's a movie.
It's a movie.
But like, I don't know, man.
It was a lot.
It was great.
That was fun. That was a fun. I would recommend Mother with like an asterisk.
If you liked the director's other films.
Yeah, like it's very weird. It is extremely uncomfortable, but it's not really a horror film. It's just
unsettling.
It's very unsettling.
Disturbing.
Yeah. Energizing. There was one moment near the end of the film that it was not a funny bit, and I just started laughing because I was like, "This is hilarious."
Yeah,
like
that, and then something really tragic happened.
Yes,
right after.
I was like, "This is really funny," and then a very tragic thing happened, and I was like, well, never mind." Anyway, yeah, all right. Thank you all for watching this movie with me. This was a very fun experience. I had a great time.
I'm glad. It was fun for you.
We can watch it over and over again for the next 45 hours.
Oh, I'm definitely going to send it to my parents because my parents are logged into my account.
Oh my god.
So I'll send them a message and be like, "You got 45 hours to watch this."
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll watch it.
I'm really curious what they would have to say. The second half is a little rough.
Yeah, it is.
A little?
Yeah, I mean it's a little rough. The first,
Pretty rough.
graphic.
Graphic.
It's so weird. The second half of the movie is so weird. I'm just now replaying some of the events that happened. I'm like, what was this film? Anyway, it was like a very different movie.
I can see why they chose the location
Yeah,
because like
the sense of isolation is wild.
yeah, and but also just like the way to shoot it. Like I wouldn't want to like if this was like in a neighborhood instead of like an isolated like to shoot what they shot. I'd have been like, oh, that would have been hell to like live in that area. Just
the other thing I was starting to think near the end of the film was like, dear God, the set design.
Yes.
yeah.
Holy crap! Because what felt like one set really started to become a lot of sets, and like that's just really wild.
And it's really like interesting. Like at the very beginning, like you see her kind of like wandering through the house, and you really like it's like a kind of a long sequence, but it really introduces you to like all the like here's the bathroom,
Yep.
here's the to like you'd be like you're gonna be looking at this house a lot.
Yeah. No, and that was important because you were going to spend the entire movie in the house. Man, you know what's so funny is that right before this we were talking about The Mist and how powerful a movie that is considering that it's one location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Mother does so much more than The Mist does.
Oh sure.
But we should watch The Mist. You would like it.
Man, compared to this movie, The Mist is like like a rom-com. Like
I don't want it to let me down.
no. It's
Oh my God.
it's
Less heavy?
yes.
It is less heavy. It is less heavy. Oh, wow. Also, there's something else. Today is the first of the month, so we're going to do a quick shout out and special thank you to all of our Patreon producers. Names are scrolling along the bottom of the screen. If you are watching and you'd like to learn more about Patreon and the perks that come along with that, you can visit supportsteven.com or click the link in any vlog. It's down there. Thank you, patrons. It is wild to think that we're already into February, but January was rough. So I'm looking forward to February. I'm over here because I brought Mal home. Mal just fed Leica, who eats a very, very hungry puppers. Very hungry. And I think I'm actually going to stay here tonight because I can stay here. I just fed Kep, and so he has his food, and we're driving here, and Mal's like, you could stay. She's like, I know it wasn't like a horror movie, but it was still unsettling.
It was unsettling.
She's like, you could stay, and I was like, do you want me to stay? She's like, yeah. So because Kep's already taken care of, I mean, I don't have to be back. It's not a big deal. So if you want me to be here,
Sure.
then sure. The only thing that'll be a little weird is I do have I do have physical therapy in the morning, so I don't have my gym shorts, so I'll have to go back to the house to get the gym shorts. But like, I can do that. That's a minor thing. And the other thing is that I don't have to go home now, which means that I can just like go straight to bed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a benefit too.
I got to get ready for bed and contacts and teeth and...
Yeah. I'll just, all I got to do is just shed my clothing and jump into bed. And then in the morning, I'll just put the same stuff on to go get the workout gear. I had a good day. I had a really good day. I really did enjoy watching that movie. After we stopped that clip, me and Mao and Dan and Brandon just kept talking about it. The one thing that I really like about movies, and I guess this goes for like any piece of media, but especially something like a movie, is I love it when you experience a piece of media like a movie and you can't get it out of your head for a bit. It's something that is very impactful. And sometimes that's because it touches you in a very deep spot where it's like super relatable. And then in other times it's because it's just really weird. And or distressing or whatever. Like there's some extreme emotion that puts that piece of media in your mind. And this is certainly that sort of thing where like I'm probably going to think about this movie for a while. And I love that. I love that. That's one of the joys of watching a movie and experiencing a piece of media. Did you get brushy brush?
We got brushy brush.
Oh, we got brushy brush. Anyway, all right. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?